Hello, my name is Kainton Monanyan, and I'm also known as Kainton the Genius. And this is 20 slides I've made to teach support vector machine. If you look at the side, you'll see there are 20 slides. I'm going to use it to teach you support vector machine in about, let's say, 6 lessons of 10 minutes each. I would just want to make it really clear for you. That is why I made this presentation. If you want, you can actually download this presentation and use it to understand it very clearly. So I'm going to start right from the beginning. Support vector machine is not really very easy, but it's not also difficult. So that is why I want to take you through the steps of what you need to do to solve support vector machine problems. For many teachers, for many lessons, some actually don't teach from the basics, because to learn support vector machines, there are some basic things you need to know. If you don't know these basic things, then most likely you'll find it difficult along the line. All right, I'm Kainton the Genius, as you know, and I'm going to remind you to subscribe. This is me in a conference. So let's just get started immediately. What is support vector machine? Support vector machine is a numerical classifier that draws a single decision boundary that maximizes the margin. So I want you to understand from this definition. First is a classifier, numerical, single decision boundary. Take note of the margin, it maximizes, and also two classes of data. All right, so when you talk about classifier is a branch of machine learning models that classifies data sets into 2 points. For instance, you have a series of tweets from Twitter. You want to classify them into positive tweets or negative tweets and things like that. So, but this case, we are talking about numerical classifier. So in support vector machine, we will only have one decision boundary. So you can see here we have one decision boundary, and this space between these two lines is actually maximum, right? So let's proceed to the next part. The next question is, what are support vectors and what is a hyperplane? We are talking about support vector machine. So what actually are support vectors? Support vectors are points that determine the decision boundary. So these lines you see here, they are not actually support vectors. These lines are not support vectors, but they are gutters. All right, they are gutters. So we have support vectors to be the points that determine the decision boundary. So at this point you have this point close here, this blue point, and also this point. For this second figure here, you see 3 points determine the decision boundary, and there are 3 support vectors here. Here we have 2 support vectors, right? Good. Because by the time we actually get deeper, you actually have to determine the decision boundary using the support vectors. What is a hyperplane? A hyperplane is a plane whose dimension is 1 less than the ambient plane. So what does it mean? We are looking at this data in 2 dimensions, x1 and x2, right? 2 dimensions, and we are drawing 1-dimensional lines to be able to help us get the decision boundary. So if we have data in 2 dimensions and we are drawing 1-dimensional line to be able to help us get the boundary, it tells us that the hyperplane is simply 1 dimension less than the ambient plane. So an example of hyperplane are these lines we are drawing here. But in the real sense, in support vector machine, we actually call these lines gutters. The 2 lines by the side of the middle line is called gutters, and the midline is called decision boundary. All right, so there are some way to determine the decision boundary. One of this method is called the convex hull method, and in this method you draw a line joining different data points without a convex shape. So in this case we have line joining the different data points without actually having a convex shape, that is without having to draw any line that curves inwards, right? So in this case, we can see lines that form the decision, that help in the decision boundary, You can also see ones that doesn't contribute to the decision boundary. So this is actually called the convex hull method, and we are going to learn more about it in a minute. In this case, we have, let me take my pen again. So we have, if we draw a line going through this place, we see that 2 points help determine the decision boundary, and these are the support vectors. Alright, so a few of the basics. You already know what a margin is. Okay, let me draw this. Fine. A margin is the separation between the two gutters. Yeah, the two gutters is separated by a margin. The distance between the two gutters. The margin width in this case is what? The margin width is 2 minus 1 because I already labeled the coordinates, and it is 1. We are going to use this later on, so make sure you understand these terms: margin width, gutters, support vectors, training points. Yeah, I have to write it here. How many training points do we have? We have 4 training points. You can see this is A, B, C, A, B, D, E. 4 training points. How many classes? 2 classes, because we are separating them into 2 classes, and we have 3 support vectors. And now, what is a hyperplane? We've already defined what a hyperplane is. The question now comes, how do we figure out what the decision boundary will be? That is a big question that we actually will start answering, and that forms the crux, the key of support vector machine, and we are going to continue that in tutorial 2. Before I just round off, I forgot to mention this concept of linear separability. So before you can apply support vector to a set of vectors or set of data points, they have to be linearly separable. We'll talk more about this at a later time. I'd like to thank you for viewing. So let's move over to tutorial 2 to see how we can determine the decision boundary. I'd like to remind you to subscribe, and I remain Kindson the Genius, being your teacher for support vector machine.